States. There have been a number of other spending pledges by companies under the Trump administration alone, as seen in this graphic. The most recent was Hyundai, a big one there, obviously, from Apple. That was a big one as well. And then OpenAI and Oracle, among so many more. So hundreds of billions of dollars that we're talking about here, Brandon. And it's not going to stop there. Do you think other companies are going to step up in this?
I do, and I think the path forward really needs to be guided by good tax and regulatory policy, and that's certainly what's slowly but surely moving to the United States Congress right now, locking in those Trump tax cuts from back in 2017, many of which are scheduled to expire at the end of this year, locking those in, reducing regulation, reducing energy prices. If we can check all of those boxes and create some degree of policy certainty along the way, we'll see tons of more investment, job growth, and economic growth in response.
Republicans have the majority. Now's the time to get to it if you really want to cement these tax cuts. And it's not just companies interested in investing in the United States, it's also countries. The United Arab Emirates now committing to a 10-year, $1.4 trillion U.S. investment. The investment will, quote, substantially increase the UAE's existing investments in the U.S. economy in AI infrastructure, semiconductors, energy, and manufacturing. Anthony, this seems like a lot of money, but what does this tell you about U.S.-UAE relationships?
I think it's the idea of a mutually beneficial relationship with allies, whether they be military allies or economic allies. This is exactly where President Trump wants to be, and it's a huge win for him. And it really does show his leadership and the respect that he has around the world. In contrast to countries that tariff us at massive amounts compared to what we tariff them, and now want to kind of get on a soapbox and complain about reciprocity. So it shows what real alliance can be between allies, and it shows that the United States is and has been and still is the American exceptionalism is alive, and we are definitely the largest economy in the world and the best place to invest in the world. And President Trump is pulling those investments and those partnerships back in.
Yeah, it is pretty fascinating to watch. I mean, an administration that's only been in power for just a little more than 2 months here. Speaking of this administration, now let's talk Boeing. Well, the administration awarding Boeing the contract to build the next generation of F-47 fighter jets in a $50 billion deal. Interesting, it's Boeing here because the move by the White House stunned experts since Boeing beat out aerospace, beat out military support juggernaut Lockheed Martin. Thoughts on this deal, Brandon, Boeing getting this and potentially bringing Boeing, if you will, back to life, if you will?
Yeah, I mean, it's good news. Boeing's been a juggernaut of the American economy for a long time. And, hopefully we are beginning to turn the tide when it comes to defense contracting. For too long, we've seen contractors built the United States government and really produce inefficient armaments and planes and so forth. So hopefully under this administration, we're going to tighten the screws a little bit and, produce top-of-the-line planes and fighter jets and so forth, because I think there's been far too much waste in the Pentagon over the years that we really need to squeeze out.
Yeah, the F-47. Really excited to see what sort of impact that will have on military readiness. The president was showing us, or speaking about the planes. It's going to fly very fast and has many other capabilities. Anthony Esposito, Brandon Arnold, thank you both for joining us.